guys, with this one right here, we didn't got Chinx OS plugged in with Fumez the engineer. Press play. We got OS Chinx plugged in. Got plugged in, especially with this one right here plugged in. But coming to the plugged in, especially everything else and just the plugs ins and the chinks. But especially with press play and everything else, coming in tune with it, especially with these plugs in, because these plugs in be wild, be wild jungle, but Chinx OS plugged in, Fumez engineer and everything else, with the just with the chinks.
Aye, you know what time it is. Plugged in. Don't catch corn in your pumpkin. One side shit. Serious stuff. Alright, look, listen. Yo, get in the ride, do it on peds, electric bikes. Stepped in the game, I stepped in it with a bang and left man petrified. Rubbed and chefed him twice. I was up in the court, didn't wear no tie. In the ride, do it on peds, electric bikes. Stepped in the game, I stepped in it with a bang and left man petrified. Rubbed and chefed him twice. I was up in the court, didn't wear no tie.
Ooh.
I didn't get hit with lengthy time. Couldn't tell the judge that weapon's mine. I claimed you rest.
Couldn't tell the judge that a weapon was mine. Like, it gets real crucifying. Left him crucified. Shoosh, let him, he was a little nervous, little crucified, and he said on electric bikes, swoosh, like you didn't did your skits, your hits on electric, but like, come on, with the whole thing, and especially with everything else, coming in tune with it, like, it gets real, skelly, everything else comes in, how the whole thing is, scoop in, like, scoop it and all that, that presence, like he said, coming from the electrics and, just everything else, components.
Lied. It's mad how a man got a step with bind. Like I ain't scared of a second strike. Better that than them take my life. Fuck that, got a step and ride. I beg man, come outside, we're live. It ain't no fun when they hide. Gotta drop it, cause bro's got a lot on his mind. Only thing we ain't dropping is pride. Really do things differently, gang get fidgety. Tell you how it started initially. I know man from young and he was my son. So when he got bun, it was bittersweet. After got smoked like nicotine, plenty of tan. It was linking me. Like we was all laughing and billing weed.
Ooh, he said like nicotine. Ooh, that's the whole thing. Like he said, like, and that was even his, growing up, person, coming from the whole Bennett scripts, like, especially someone, you didn't grew up your whole life with, and since probably kids, and you guys are like, but he said like nicotine to nicotine, and all that other stuff, especially those vapes and everything else like that, like those vapes and stuff. It really be killing people too. And me myself, I don't do none of that. So I don't really get into none of that nicotine, none of that toxic stuff or that smoking stuff with the whole thing. But he said he got turned into a nicotine to the, even with even all this other stuff that's going around to this whole spread it.
Call that suspicious activity. I stop it, you're killing me. Who done what? It's a mystery. Step with a dot longer than. Don't get caught in the field, quite slippery. Won't make a scene if I see him from far. Just creep up close and blast. Bro, try to take out his heart. Down got in the when he couldn't respond, cause he was unarmed. Teeth in the dog, woof. I don't wanna hear about how he shook. Down got burst. How you claim that work when you got my bro in the back of the foot? He's a muck. Aye, yo, slow down as a up there. Look, them man liars. Step with friars, got cooked. Got chefed and dropped. Bang my boots, make man turn puss. German coupe, make gal get wet. Spill man's juice when got his mango pressed, bro. Left with his Rambo drench. Tell you about a time when a man got X'd, but a boy came back from the dead. 142 reps, I ain't never been splashed in my chest, better get it.
Ooh, it's okay, it's coming. Just the whole thing, how it's just lucifying everything else. Like, like he said, he got juice, he got X, he came back from that X, came back from the dead and everything. Like, shoosh, like, everything else, like, I'm seeing how it's getting more, it's after team and everything else, how the whole thing is. This is the type we coming to, like, we coming into the whole thing, especially everything else. The whole thing is already like flashy. It's already flashy, like the whole thing, the way it's spinning and scrolling.
correct. Come through in the broad day beating. A few times I had speeding, once in the daytime, twice in the evening. My man knows what it is when I see him. Trust them, man, know that it's war. Get the drop, then I'm going for sure. Used to ring me and phone me for draws. Tramp probably still owes me a score. Used to let man slide, can't know that he's poor. Then man used to beg for a tick. You ain't never had pagans know where you live, so you gotta go home with a stick. Fuck it, man still rolling a quick. Don't give a shit, still took smoke to his crib. Go back home and roll up a spliff like I don't even know what I did. I don't know who put that toy in the whiz or put that boy in the Riz. Got caught by fizz and now he's in more than a chiz. Now he's in more than a pickle. Pop the pistol, don't need a whistle. Stand on the fence, I'll strangle the skeng and get down all of them man in the middle. Little man slip, got caught in the rain. Grab sticks and stones, get thrown at his brain. Still get through when I tore a stakes. Bags and bodies, they saw.
Oh, that's deep, and it gets more deeper and deeper, inclusive. Finally, like he says, stone and sticks, and they didn't. Hey, he didn't wiped it another. He wiped it to his own kind of consent, like coming from his consent and everything else. Like he didn't wipe it to his own kind of mainstreams. Like made it to his own type of main hitters and main streamers and everything else. The way he like pushed it, like he put it to his own type of bars, like. He whipped it around, like he said, coming from sticks and stones and everything else, and like the whole thing is just on another labyrinth. Like the way he's coming, the way he's building, like he prison it.
Red tape. That was his final moments, bro got down his opponent. I flew there fast, forgot my mask. Dodged that case, didn't care about COVID. Dodged that case, didn't care about what? Still gotta glide on license. Still gotta pick up the line to my life and still gotta tell man freedom's priceless. Back then bros in ISIS, I was in Belmarsh, pushing up packs for decent prices. Tell man I ain't increasing sizes, man can't afford it, you know where the rice is. You ain't never seen 20 bags in fivers. Never done one so big on the land in the for decent prices. Tell man I ain't increasing sizes, man can't afford it, you know where the rice is. You ain't never seen 20 bags in fivers. Never done one so big on the land and the guns are to make me high risk. Go on a glide, better leave your devices. Better not bring that along, that stupid nasty knifings, brilliant bootings. No, I ain't picking or choosing. Leave man red, but you know it's a blue ting. Better get with the movement.
Oh, and that whole thing, like, hey, you know how we gonna beat, hey, you know how everything else, you know how we gonna beat it, how we gonna at least it. Hey, we ain't really gotta do all that other stuff. Like, we just gonna leave it to the whole thing. Like he said, with the whole thing come into it. Especially coming from the main thing and everything else. Like, everything else is just crazy fusion. Like crazy fusion, because it's like a lot of these guys is just terminated. Like they really out here, grands reaping and everything else. The way this. Everything else is like, and for magic thing, like, the way the whole thing is like bursting. Like these guys be really bursting when they come into these tunes, because these tunes they coming in with, hey, they giving us whatever they gotta give us, like their whole mistress to it.
Just stepped in the shop, he's a nuisance. Back that just. I ain't got nothing to prove it. I'm outside with the dons that do this. Rise them shotty spinners, Lugers, knifing bodies, did him gruesome. That's another unit in my blue slim.
Fumez, the engineer.
Unit in my blue slim.
Fumez, the engineer.
Coming through with this one though right here, like he said, coming from a looseness, another loose man in his swishy, his swishy, but hey, Chinx OS, especially with the plugged in, I can't just imagine like what a lot of these guys put it in tune with it, it'd be a lot of in tuning with it, but you just got plugged in with Fumez engineer, especially with the whole Chinx and the whole OSs, because they bring with a pride, they come with a pride, they come with a whole disability, like where they coming for that one strictly, but everything else, and just with the plugged in and the Chinx and them having their whole sets, and especially with them having their whole like petros, like they come in with petros, bunch of group of petros, and they just loofing everywhere, but plugged in with Fumez, and just with this one right here. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, mainly everything else.